Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Season 2 finale of KnightTime. Even though this might be my last show and the ending might be pretty rough, we still have a great show today for you all. So stay tuned, KnightTime starts now.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Welcome you guys to this Season 2 finale of KnightTime. Can't believe it's my last show and Camden has 3 more years to go. But Camden, how are you doing today?
I'm doing terrible. I know that the lower third might be cutting it off, but look at this. Look at this ugly shirt I have on.
Beautiful.
This color is so ugly. I
Wait,
can't
it's
believe
good
it.
on you.
Tell them why you're wearing it.
So, all right, this is a Michigan shirt, obviously. I don't like Michigan. In fact, I hate it. Let me give you my Grant Wheeler look. Yeah, I don't like Michigan at all. All right, I'm an Ohio State fan, obviously. I am wearing this because I lost primetime picks, so congratulations to Taylor.
Thank you.
Who it is her last show today.
We don't have the crown, unfortunately.
It's okay.
Yeah, left the crown at home.
We are also joined by our now baseball and softball specialist, John Alfano. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here on this last show. I've enjoyed coming on a lot, and you know, the last guy who came on a lot is doing pretty well. So
Yes, that is very true.
Well, are you ready to talk about the baseball team?
no, but
Me
I'm gonna
either.
do it anyways.
But this past weekend and week was not great for the baseball team. During their weekend series against ECU, they were swept badly. Friday night started off poorly as ECU was able to score 10 runs in the 4th inning. This was Connor Stain's first charge loss of the season. Saturday was arguably worse as they were shut out in a 10-0 loss. This was the Knights' first shutout loss since February 2021. In his season high of 107 pitches, Saxton allowed 7 hits and 8 runs. Sunday was kind of better since they scored a run, but the end score was ECU 10-1. The Pirates scored 8 runs in the top of the 5th inning to secure the sweep over UCF. So, Camden, what'd you think about it?
First of all, it's weird that we're sitting here at this desk with each other. You know, it feels weird that we're all right next to each other. But this baseball team, right? I think it's written down somewhere. They got outscored something like 32-8 in these 3 games. All right, that is awful. They barely put up any runs in the last 2 games. Most of that was from the first game. And I think in every single game they gave up 10+ runs. Like, it was not a good series for this baseball team. I did not like what I saw. John, were you at any of those games?
No, unfortunately, or no, fortunately, I was not there.
Maybe you would have been their luck.
Their good luck charm?
No, I'm not. I've been to 3 baseball games this year. 2 of them they've lost, but yeah. I really can't pinpoint anything specific that went wrong because it was everything. But I really have to mention the pitching. Like, not only are the pitchers not doing well, it's not being managed well. We're going through like 5 or 6 pitchers every game, and that's not sustainable. They had Ben Vespi starting the other night, and nothing against Ben Vespi because he's a great pitcher, but he's a reserve.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have a bullpen starting.
No. And like we said, the week did not continue strong at all because UCF did not come back strong after the series loss against ECU as they lost to Jacksonville University 9-2 Tuesday night. UCF started strong going up with 2-0 with the help of Taylor, Russo, and Ruiz, but JU still battled back and they scored 3 runs in the 3rd and just kept rolling offensively for the rest of the night. They added 2 more runs in the 5th and 4 in the 7th to extend the lead. So there was a little bit of hope at the beginning. But
yeah.
What happened?
I think the hope was I was supposed to be at that game, right? I sent out a message like, does anyone want to go to this game? And they said no. And I guess it's lucky we didn't go because it was not a good game. Not only did they lose to Jacksonville at home, they got blown out, all right? 9-2 to Jacksonville. That is just, you can't have that happen to Jacksonville. All right?
Dolphins.
This is a team that we had just beaten like 3 weeks ago, and it wasn't really close. Now you're telling me they come out here and lose 9-2. Like, it was not close. And that thing that you mentioned last segment or last point about Ben Vespi, I didn't know he started. He's a relief pitcher. Why do they have him been starting? That is just
Exactly.
What is going on?
Because they're burning through pitchers so fast that they have no choice but to start the bullpen. And, you know, Taylor, I'm kind of glad we were given that presentation on Tuesday night because I didn't want to go there and get killed. Like,
Wow. Yeah, it's been rough for baseball recently.
Yeah.
You know who has been rough for?
Softball.
Kind of
team.
figured out that we are a women's sports school with softball, basketball, volleyball, whatever. But softball swept ECU, making it their third conference sweep of the season, and they are now 9-0 in league play. They won 1-0 in a pitcher's duel in the first game of the series. Gianna Mantra had a one-hit shutout, and Rowe helped score with an RBI single in the fifth. In game two, Woodall had a career high of 8 strikeouts to help beat ECU 6-1. ECU did get on the board first in this game, but UCF came back in the third and never looked back. They secured their series win when they beat ECU 2-1 to make it their best start as members of the AAC. So what about these softball girls?
I mean, you put into words, they're 9-0 in conference play. It's just like our women's basketball team. We are telling that everyone that is watching to look out for this softball team, all right? They are playing very impressive lately. I'm not sure what their win streak's at right now. I think it's somewhere upwards of 8, 9, 10 games ever since that series against Virginia Tech. They're playing amazing, and this is my strong suit. I've loved going to the softball games. Sad I couldn't go this last week. But yes, this softball team is dominating all of their competition.
Yeah, and honestly, they should give pitching lessons to the baseball team because this softball team is shutting people down. They allowed 2 runs across 3 games to ECU. Gianna Mancha and Kama Woodall both had great games. Kama Woodall, it was her birthday, and she was facing her former team, and she set a career high in strikeouts. So
birthday.
my player of the week,
And up next, they will take on Houston, and this will be their first away series since USF. So what do you think they should continue to do to win at this game?
Honestly, whatever they're doing is working, all right?
Keep it up.
They're hitting well and they're pitching well. That is something that the baseball team is not doing, right? Not only they're hitting the ball very consistently, right? They're scoring 5-6 runs plus every single game, and they're not giving up any runs, all right? They're only giving up 1 or 2 runs, if that, a game. They're dominating everybody that they're facing.
What should they continue to do? The same thing?
yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Do not fix anything.
You're hitting well, you're pitching well, you just keep doing it.
Yeah, and they are leading the AAC right now, and the team that I see contesting with UCF the most has to be Wichita State, since they are 7-2 in the conference, and UCF will take them on the second weekend of May. So coming up soon, who do you think is contesting with them right now?
Well, I think with Wichita State, right around that area, it's Houston, right? I believe they're within 2 or 3 games of UCF. The only issue is UCF has not dropped a single conference game. I don't know if it's bound to happen, but it doesn't look like anybody's stopping the softball team. So although they're only 1 or 2 games up, they still have these series against Wichita State and Houston, and I think they're going to be the better team. John, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with you, Taylor. Wichita State is definitely the scariest team left, and we end the season against them on the road. So that's going to be a huge series. Wichita State's offense is insane. They have 78 home runs in the season. They're averaging almost 2 a game. So it's going to be a tough task for the pitching staff to keep up, but I believe they can do it.
I believe they can do it at ease, too. So moving on from baseball, softball to football, with the spring game happening this past weekend, we were able to get more of a feel as to who will be standout players for us this upcoming fall. Plumlee scored four touchdowns, and Keene had 3 himself. The 2 quarterbacks were able to combine for 471 passing yards, 7 scores, and 1 interception. Sad news, but Jalen Robinson's also announced this past week that he will be entering the transfer portal after having 3 catches for 126 yards and 2 scores in the game. Johnny Richardson did what he does best and ran for 108 yards on only 9 carries. So what are some key takeaways from this game for you?
Now, I personally was not at this game. I wish I was. My takeaway is, why is it not televised, all right? I'm trying to find this game. Why can I not find it anywhere? But the takeaway I have, now correct me if I'm wrong because I was not there, but I believe that Plumlee went out there first, right? That he was the first quarterback to go out there. And last week we went on the show. I said Mikey Keene would be the starter. It still doesn't look like it's official yet, but I think I'm leaning towards Plumlee now being the starter. John, takeaways of this game?
Yeah, my big takeaway was that the wide receiver room was doing really well, but then Jalen Robinson announced he was transferring, and that made me very sad. But still a good wide receiver room. So I'm going to say my main takeaway is Johnny Richardson. With Isaiah Bowser out for the spring, he's done really well in the number 1 back role. He averaged 12 yards per carry in the spring game, and I know it's a spring game, it's a scrimmage, so they're not going to be tackling that hard on defense, but still very impressive. And that running back room is scary.
It is. So another sad transfer. We talked about it a little bit last week, but Darren Green Jr. to FSU in state. And John mentioned earlier that they play here this upcoming season. What do you think about that?
That will be his best game of the season because he plays well only in Addition Financial. But seriously, so I actually grew up an FSU fan, full transparency, so I'm not too upset about this, but it still hurts to see Darren Green leave. He was such a key part of the team this past year. I'm actually going to be talking about him a little bit more later, so stay tuned for that.
Wow, and yeah, like you said, him leaving, apparently our basketball team only has 4 players right now, so I have no clue how they're going to continue in play. This is going to affect the team, right? Darren Green was supposed to have one more year. It's just sad to see him go in-state somewhere else, and especially we're going to get to see him play. I'm wondering to see like what the crowd reaction is going to be. Are we going to boo him, or are we going to cheer for him? Because he did do a lot for the team, right? He had that game winner. He had a great season, scoring 20+ in multiple games. So I want to see what the crowd reaction is going to be like.
I'm very interested to see, too, because sometimes we treat our transfers well, sometimes we don't, so we'll see what happens. But that's all the time we have for our baseball and softball segment with a little bit of some basketball and football. But when we come back, we are going to cover all the sports we have talked about this past season and go over all of our favorite moments from this past year, so stay tuned.
I'm in charge of the meeting this week, so you know what we're going to talk about? Basketball. The second thing we're going to talk about this week is basketball. Okay? And the third and last thing we're going to talk about is basketball. Yeah.
God, yeah. It's ridiculous. I want to quit. Can I quit? Take that.
Look at the screen. What are we talking about this week?
Basketball.
Welcome back to segment 2 of our season finale. And since this is the end of season 2, we want to recap all the sports we have talked about and go over all of our favorite moments. You guys ready?
I'm so ready for this.
I am very excited because we're starting off with football, and I'm going to talk about the Gasparilla Bowl defeating Florida 29-17. You guys have to let me talk crap about Florida one more time on my last show.
Talk away.
You guys know, and we all know, I went to Florida, hated it, worst experience of my whole life. So going into my last UCF football game on the road in Tampa, John's favorite stadium. We had so much fun at this game. This was the best way to close out my senior year. The most fun football game I've ever honestly been to in my life, and I've been to a few good ones. We definitely, I think, outweighed the Florida fans at this game, and it was just so much fun to become state champs, and they are still butthurt to this day, guys. You go on Twitter, Instagram, anything. We just got our rings for this game, and they are so upset. So I just had to talk about it one more time, but that was by far my favorite game. And John, I think it's your favorite too.
Yeah, remember in the last segment when I said I grew up as a Florida State fan? So I don't like UF very much, and you're going to see that. But yeah, it was so great. After years of UF fans just belittling us and calling us little brother, we finally proved to them, hey, we're better than you. And we did that multiple times throughout the year, so it's just great to finally shut them up.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't want to choose the Gasparilla Bowl like you guys did, but it is awesome to see that we did beat our state rivals, all right? We are everywhere now. This fan base is all across Florida and much more, and we're growing. They're not. My favorite was the first game against Boise State. Keep this in mind, everyone. I am a freshman. It was my first ever game at UCF being a student. It was a rain delay game against Boise State. It was one of those ESPN games, night game. It was a game that went past midnight, and we started out down 21-0 after Dylan Gabriel threw a terrible pick six, and we came back. We stormed back and won that game 36-31. That was definitely my favorite experience so far this year, and I think it was just a great game to be at.
It was really fun if you got the chance to be there and didn't have to be at Nightly the next morning. Moving on to men's soccer, my favorite moment was when men's soccer won against Tulsa, who was ranked number 6 at the time, 3-2. This was the win that put them at the top of the American Conference, and this win for UCF also gave Tulsa their first loss of the season. This was one of those games where the offense was on fire with the help of Nick Taylor. Super fun to watch. I was able to go out to a couple of the men's soccer games this year and work it. It was really fun. I feel like they really stepped up to the plate when they needed to this season. I'm really excited to see this team improve next season as well. What was your favorite men's soccer moment, John?
Mine was in the AAC semifinals. I'm not exactly sure where, to be honest, but they beat Memphis 6-0. You know, it's always a great time when you save your best performance for the end of the season. And although they didn't win in the conference finals, it was great to just go out there and beat the heck out of Memphis 6-0, no matter who it is.
All right, my favorite men's soccer moment was definitely going to be beating USF, all right? A common trend that we have on the show is we hate other Florida teams, all right? We just talk bad about Florida. We've talked bad about Florida State. Now let's talk bad about USF. These are real hated rivals. We went on the road and beat them 3-2. I was really proud of this team, and that's my moment of the year for soccer.
So continuing with soccer, women's soccer, my favorite moment was when they won against Penn State 2-1 when Penn State was ranked number 7. Alex Funderburk and I was there working, and I think we stayed in the press box for around 2 hours in a lightning and rain delay. And we thought they were going to call the game, and this was a good game, so we obviously didn't want them to, and we beat a top 10 opponent. It was so fun to be there and watch. I think it was Mackenzie Milton's also first game at FSU, so we were watching that game on our phone during the rain delay, during the soccer game waiting. So just, again, beating another top 10 opponent, so shout out to this women's soccer team. Also think they're going to be amazing next season, Camden.
That sounds like a really good weekend you had there. I'm going to let John go first because we actually have the same one, so I want John to talk about it.
Yeah, shocking, but it's beating UF. This was, I think, our first week of school. We had just gotten back, and we went out there and beat them 2-0. Like, went to their home stadium, beat them. This is the first of 3 times we beat them this year across all sports. So,
wow.
Great time to, like, women's soccer, doesn't get a lot of attention, but, we still prove to them that we're better than you.
I'm going to put this out there. I'm a bigger women's soccer fan than men's soccer fan. I said this last week. I watch the women's national team more than the men's. They always make it farther. They just seem like a better team.
We're a women's sports school, man. No shame.
This is true. Yeah. I'm going to go with that game, too. Like you said, on the road, right? We're going on the road and playing Florida, and we go out there and beat them. Just another impressive road victory against a team that, throughout the last however many years has just been a better athletics program. And finally, we're starting to get some numbers on them.
Thank God. Moving on to basketball, men's basketball, my favorite moment was when we beat Michigan 85-71. This one helped UCF extend their streak to 5 straight games and ended up closing out conference play 8-2. This was the 3rd largest crowd of all time for UCF and the most at a home game before January of any other year. So just a really fun game to watch. Wasn't really expecting to win against Michigan because obviously didn't win that many after that, but a really fun game to watch, and the crowd was really involved, which also always makes it fun. John, what was yours?
Yeah, no, that game was electric. I was there covering it, and it was so great to see both Darren Green and Darius Perry were making shots at will, and that was fun. But my favorite moment, as I alluded to earlier, is actually Darren Green's buzzer beater against ECU in February. This game was blow for blow, back and forth. We stayed even with them the entire time. And then he goes and does that, one of the best shots I've ever seen UCF make. So, yeah, that was great. I'm going to miss you, Darren.
Hey, at least it's going to a school that you kind of like, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Now, mine, it's going to be my first or second ever UCF basketball home game that I went to. It was against Memphis. Memphis came in as a favorite. They had Imani Bates, they had some other players. And as we all know, you watch that tournament, Memphis gave Gonzaga a run for their money. And we went out there. Darren Green scored 20. Like I mentioned, he did a lot this year. And just kind of took the game in his own hands. Now, that Michigan game, I wish I was watching that. That one sounded amazing. But the one I chose.
Michigan shirt on. They're going
I know. I hate Michigan. All right, so when they beat Michigan, I was happy about it. All right, that game, Darren Green went off too, and I think Brandon Mahan had a great game too. Yeah. But I'm going with Memphis. That game, winning that game, that crowd was electric. We hated that Memphis team that night. We beat that 17-year-old Imani Bates. It was awesome.
So moving on to kind of our team from season 2 of Nighttime, the women's basketball team. And my favorite moment from them is the whole ending of the season and the postseason. Just to name a few, they ended with the best record in program history, #1 scoring defense in the country, and ended the AAC tournament champions. They also had Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Player of the Year. They also got their first March Madness win in school history when they defeated UF 69-42. So again, trend of beating UF.
Yeah.
What was yours?
You actually just said it, so thank you. But, like I keep saying, UF, they don't like us, we don't like them, and they call us little brother, and we just prove to them, no, you're the little brother in this relationship. So I really love seeing that. It was really sad to me to see Coach Abe leave, but I know she's going to do great things at Georgia and hopefully beat UF a lot more.
Right, that is true. They'll be in the same conference. Yeah. Now, that is awesome. The women's basketball team, or the game that I'm going to choose, it's actually more than one game. I'm going to go with a 4-game stretch right towards the end of the year where they held 4 opponents to under 40 points. This was when this team started to get some recognition, right? They were starting to become ranked. We were complaining every week, why are they not ranked higher? And they came out there and dominated defensively. And we almost saw them beat UConn because of that great defense. But I'm going with that stretch where they gave up less than 40 points. Just great job.
So our last sport I want to go ahead and cover is our volleyball team, and my favorite volleyball moment was McKenna Melville's entire season and being able to watch her. She became the first Knight to earn 4 All-American awards. She is also the first Knight to earn a 3rd team recognition and be honored during the All-American banquet. She played and started in all 125 sets for UCF and helped lead UCF to their 4th straight conference title and NCAA appearance. So John, what was your favorite volleyball moment from this past year?
It's actually kind of part of that. So it was senior night against Temple, one of the last games of the season, and we just went out and curb stomped them, and that got us the AAC title. And it was so great being able to see all these players who have meant so much to this program, both Melville, Anne-Marie Watson, Amber Olsen, all of them, finally they've won conference titles before, but they're honored, they're getting more and more trophies, and hopefully they'll make a deep run someday.
Well, I want to start out by saying I'm sorry we did not cover this volleyball team more because they were amazing. I looked at their record, 27-7. The one that I'm choosing is their 15-game win streak. 15 games to end off the regular season, including 12 shutouts. I think that's how it works with sets, right? They won 3-0, 12 out of the 15 games that they played. All right, they dominated. They made it all the way to the second round of the tournament. Just this volleyball team should have gotten more publicity.
They should have. Yeah. And I hope next year we continue to cover them even more. So that's all the time we have for our favorite moments of this past season. Can't wait to see what comes up next year. But when we come back, I'm going to cry. Goodbye.
Cowboys versus Giants. Why? Because I am a New York Giants fan and I want my first pick of the week to be my team. I see an upset for the New York Giants this Sunday. Bet your entire savings, and I'm telling you right now, they're gonna win. I don't care what you say. It's gonna happen.
I have to go with the Raiders, I think, for this one. I don't see them losing.
Welcome back. It is now time for our primetime picks of the week, the best segment. I'm currently doing awful, standing at 16-10, Oklahoma State and Texas. I'm going Texas 35-27.
All right, Jeff, don't tell me your winner, but who is going to the Super Bowl?
The New England Patriots.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
God.
The
Oh
NFL is
my
gonna
God.
the NFL is gonna make it happen.
All right, welcome back to our last ever segment this semester of Nighttime. As you can see, we have an emotional Taylor Anderson right next to me here. It is her last ever Nighttime show at Hitting the Field. I wanted to start out, also we're joined by Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
I'm going to start out by giving you a little bit of my feelings about what happened here, all right? There's nothing up there, just right here, me and you, right here. When I joined Hitting the Field, I was pretty shy, all right? We didn't talk that much, but that's all right. This semester, it all changed. When I got this opportunity to come on and host this show, I was grateful for you to reach out to me and let me know that, I was worthy of this opportunity. It's been a heck of a ride here on this show, and I just want you to know, no matter what you do down the line, we're all here for you, all right? Don't be afraid to reach out ever, because we're all right here. Hopefully when you start to miss us, you go back and watch one of these episodes and you see that we're still doing great. But I know that whatever it is you're going to do, you're going to succeed. Thank you for this opportunity, really.
Thanks.
Dang, Camden, you got me. Oh, okay. I guess it's my turn. Taylor, we got here around the same time, and instantly, my dog. I know I can go to Taylor about anything, whether it's life, the show, anything. So I appreciate you big time for that. And then Miss ESPN now. I know someone that works at ESPN. That's crazy. When you told us that in between shows on Monday, that made my day. I'm gonna be honest, to me, my show didn't matter after that. It was all about you getting that job at ESPN. So I appreciate you big time. You've helped me so much. You've become one of my best friends, and I'm always gonna be there for you regardless. You can call me at the crack of dawn and I'm gonna pick up for you.
Thanks.
All right, let's turn it on over to Johnny and Austin now.
God.
All right, Taylor, wrapping up season 2. For season 1, we really didn't talk about. We didn't really know each other too well. I know you went through a lot that season.
Yeah.
And
All right. Apparently, we're having some mic issues with Austin, so I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what is going on with this handheld mic. Honestly, I feel like I could have said more. I'm going to tell you more later. Never mind. Our mic is working. All right, Austin, let's go ahead.
Okay, I
Hit
guess
it.
I'll just start over again. So when Nighttime first started season 1, me and Taylor didn't really know each other too well. We didn't really speak to each other. It was more just like a high wave. She went through a lot that season, stuff she shouldn't have gone through. And when season 2 started, it changed for the better. I feel like me and Taylor got to know each other a lot better. We started to talk more. I'm so happy for her and like the success she has achieved between the 2 seasons and now moving on to ESPN. I already told her in private, I'm so happy for her and I can't wait to hear about all the experiences she has in Bristol, and that I'm going to be reaching out to her and catching up with her every once in a while, knowing how much she's loving working for ESPN. You changed the Nighttime for the better. Nighttime would not be what it is without you. You were a significant piece. You were the queen of Nighttime. It's gonna be hard to see Nighttime without Taylor Anderson, but everyone knows that you're gonna keep on watching the show and cheering us on. And again, I'm just so excited to see your future unravel, and I'm so excited and happy that I'm gonna be able to watch it.
Hey, Queen.
Hi.
Taylor Anderson. Taylor Lynn. You are one of the kindest, smartest, most hardworking, and truly good people that I've ever met. I'm sorry for how fall went for you. I didn't do enough for you. I didn't. There's nothing I can say to excuse that. I didn't do enough for you. I should have. I should have been better. All I can say is that I hope it ended better than it started. That being said, we've talked a lot about a lot of different things. You've always been someone I can go to. I hope I've always been someone you feel comfortable going to. And all the little jokes, all the days in the studio, all the mornings, I'm really happy that I got to know you. I'm really happy you're a part of this program. With all the bad things, I really do hope you got something good out of it, Taylor. Seeing your face Monday between shows, it made me happy because I can't think of anyone who deserves it more than you do. There has been nothing that you've done that I've ever been like, wow, wish there was someone else, Everything you've done has been amazing. Everything you've touched has turned to gold. You Taylor frickin' Anderson. I know we said that you would cry first.
I did.
Thank God.
Won.
I can't lose 2 bets, I lost one this week. Taylor, I wish you nothing but the best. We've talked about your future a lot. I just am so proud of the woman you've become, of the sportscaster you've become. And, I know you're going to do great. I'm sad to see you go, but I'm really happy to know where you're going and know you're going to do great things. And now we're going to put it off to our singer video and let Taylor say her goodbyes to this program.
The NSM studio, and I am joined by Taylor Anderson. Taylor, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Today
Really
we are
excited to be
live
here
from the
today.
NSM
Thanks for having me.
First appearance in the studio, and I am joined by Taylor Anderson.
I'm
Taylor,
excited.
how are
I'm
you doing
excited to
today?
talk
I'm
football
doing
again.
great. Really excited to be here today. Thanks for having me.
First appearance in the studio. You nervous, excited, ready to go?
I'm excited. I'm excited to talk football again since it's been a hot minute. I'm excited to get into the draft picks that we both have.
It is. I feel like we really haven't talked football since like the Super Bowl.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Nighttime. Week 6 of college football brought a lot of entertainment. The Crimson Tide fell to an unranked team. We have a new team sitting in the #1 spot and our UCF Knights finally got a win. We'll get to all of it, so stay tuned. Nighttime starts now.
They are going to win this game.
Okay, that's another thing that we can add to bad takes for next season. If anyone's
Bet your life
looking.
savings on it.
Don't do that because every time Johan says that, it doesn't work. So I'm glad that you said it because it's just, whatever. So we're going to move on to the next game. Listen, all they have to do is put on a suit or a polo because I'm sick and tired of the guys always getting best dressed.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They don't have to do their hair.
Uh-huh.
Makeup. Hello, welcome back to Watch Mojo TV. Today we're counting down our top 10 Gaudiel memes. #1, Teletubby.
Taylor, nighttime about to start. What are you most excited about today?
To go to the bathroom after.
I say right foot creep, walking with that heater. Look around, stay low, make sure they don't see you. Catch them bad, walk down, face them with that heater. The devil under your feet, on your way to see him. Stretch me when I can't sleep.
I ended up winning the college basketball primetime picks this season. Last season I did absolutely awful when it came to picking our football games. But before we get into our nightlight highlights of the week, Camden and I made a deal that I would get crowns with this UCF crown if I won. So you can go ahead.
Well, this is not the only thing that I have to do, but first I do want to say congratulations on winning. That is not the only thing I have to do, though.
With UCF because we have Nitro here.
Nitro!
Look at him! He's going with UCF. Let's go Knights. Go Knights. Charge on against Tulane. UCF taking the dub? Taking the dub. Let's go UCF. Noah, what do you think? We're so excited to have our own Nitro here, and he's going to give UCF the special luck that we need for softball, for baseball, for women's basketball, and men's basketball. We're taking it all. So stay tuned for next week when I'm going to wear the crown again. Maybe Nitro will wear it. Who knows? But thank you guys for staying tuned, and come back next week. Okay, this is going to be bad. I'm going to try to talk, but it's going to be bad. So hopefully reading the teleprompter makes it go a little bit easier. I'm forever in debt to hitting the field for the countless memories, friendships, and opportunities it has given me. I joined spring of 2021, and my only regret is that I didn't join sooner. To every single person that works cameras, audio, runs prompter, and every other job in the studio, thank you for all your time and dedication. There's no way we could put on 4 amazing shows without you all each week. Kayla, Kelly, and Hannah Jo, I think it's safe to say we pushed the limits for women in sports this past year. I'm so proud of everything we all accomplished, and to every girl in hitting the field, I can't wait to see more boundaries you all will break. To TTJ, Tyler, and Johan, I truly don't think we could have gotten through specific journalism classes without each other, and I couldn't be more grateful for the two of you. Thank you for being the best big brothers and always encouraging me to be my best self in and outside the studio. Johnny and Austin, thank you for trusting me with this show. Thank you for making me feel seen and heard in the worst and best times this past year. What you two have continued to create here at HTF is truly magical, and the standard you set is so impressive. I can't thank you two enough for all the little things you do and for giving me constant encouragement and love. I will miss you both so much, and I hope I'm cool enough to be a Zoom guest next year. I also can't wait to see Johnny dance like he does at Cowboys one day at my wedding. Finally, Camden. There's not enough times I can say thank you for this past semester for you to understand. Each week, I thank you for being the best co-host, and I truly mean that. You helped me gain confidence and love for hosting this show. You're going to go insanely far with whatever you do. Whoever gets to co-host with you next year will be the luckiest person to get to experience your dedication and passion for nighttime. I can't wait to visit down the road and see you be the Johnny of this program. As for me, I truly can't believe I get to say this, but I've accepted a job at ESPN as a production assistant starting this upcoming July. So if anyone wants to ever come to Connecticut and visit, please do. Thank you again, Hitting the Field, for giving me everything I could have ever wanted and more from this program. So for the last time, I'm Taylor Anderson, and thank you all for watching Nighttime.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building,